Hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. I hope everyone is doing well. Today is November 11, 2023, and it is Veterans Day here in the United States. I have veterans in my immediate family. My two sons and my grandson are Navy veterans, and my son-in-law is a veteran of the Air Force. So I want to express my appreciation to them and much love for them and for their service to our country. And to any of you who are veterans, I wish you happy Veterans Day today, and you have our deep thanks for your sacrifice. Thank you very much. Now then, today we're going to delve into the pantry, and we're going to make something. I'm going to make a bean soup. I've never quite made it this way before, but beans are versatile, aren't they? So I'm going to pull together a few things and let's see what we can do, and I think it's going to turn out pretty well. So all right, let's jump in there and see what happens. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I really appreciate you so much. You've become friends to me and friends to this channel, and I appreciate everything you do. If you're new, please like, subscribe, and share, and don't forget to comment. Your comments are always valuable. All right, let's get started and see what we can do. You know it's going to be economical, right? Okay. All right, let's see what we can do. Okie dokie, thanks for sticking with me. What I've got are I've got 2 quarts of Great Northern beans. Now, you can see that I canned these with my fancy labels. I canned them in 2022. So, I do want to use them up. I periodically take dry beans and can them up. That way I always have a stock of beans ready to eat. So that's what these are. Now then, I've got a can of hickory smoked ham that my older daughter gave me from her pantry. She gave me 2 cans, and this is the last one of that. I did try the first one. It's good, and I used it for different things. It is hickory smoked, and I will say the hickory smoke flavor is rather strong. But in this case, I think that's going to be a good thing. Now, she purchased this a couple of years ago. It's got a sell-by date of 2027 on it. And when she bought it, it was $3-something. I checked, and they are still for sale in these stores, various stores. But they are anywhere from $4 and change to $5. And this is actually, it's 1 pound. So, like I said, it is pretty good. And I did notice they have the regular ham that is not hickory smoked. Just in case you might be interested, or you might think that might be something you'd like to have in your emergency pantry. Now, over here, I've got a partial bag of peas and carrots, and the reason I pull these out is because these came from Dollar Tree, and as some of you know, sometimes the frozen vegetables are, especially if they're mixed, you get more of one thing than another. This bag has an enormous amount of carrots. The ratio of carrots to peas, carrots win by a big margin. So I'm going to fish out some of the carrots from this and not the peas. And I'm going to add that to the bean soup as well. And I also have a partial bag of Dollar Tree seasoned blend, which is onion, celery, red and green bell pepper, and parsley. You can see that I've got some of this left in here. This is really good. If you've never tried it, by all means, give it a try and see what you think. I was remiss and did not take it out, but I have some onion. So I'm going to put some onion, more onion than what's in here. I'm going to put some onion in the soup as well. Now I'm just going to play it by ear and see what I can do and see what we need to add, as well as these things here. Okay, I've got my pan on the heat, and I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil in the pan. And I did chop some onions. This is just a rough chop. They're not very precise, but this was just, I don't know, about 1/4 of an onion that I had available. So that's what I'm using. The heat turned up a little bit there. And I'm going to sprinkle in some of the seasoning blend. That adds some nice color. I think I'm going to put a little bit more in there. There's something about peppers and onions and celery that just smells so good when it hits a hot pan. You can see that looks pretty nice. Okay, I separated some carrots out, quite a few in there. I'm going to add those in. Turn the heat up a bit. I'm going to add some salt. And I'm going to add some pepper. Now, I know that the hickory smoked canned ham is salty, fairly salty. And I did add salt to the beans when I canned them. I'm going to also use the canning liquid that the beans are in. A lot of people might rinse them, but for this application, I don't see any reason to do that. I'm going to sprinkle in a few red pepper flakes, give it a little bit of spice. I was out of red pepper flakes for a long time, and I had them on my list. Okay, I removed the canned ham from the can, and I want to show you what this looks like. Looks like that. Actually, it's very nice. I don't have any complaints about this at all. So I'm going to probably use about half of this, and then I will put the rest in the refrigerator for another day. And I'm going to chop this up into just chunks, and I'm going to add it to the vegetables. See how it's actually very tasty. I think at some point I might like to try just the regular. Now, this is different than Spam. It's not Spam-like. It's much firmer. It's got like a little more chunkiness. There's more substance to it. And it's actually very tasty. This is really good fried up as well. Okay. Let's put the put the ham in there. Turn my burner back up. Now I'm going to brown off the ham with the vegetables. I think it brings out a lot more flavor in the ham and the vegetables, and it's going to put a lot more flavor in the soup. If you saute your vegetables and your meat or whatever you're adding to the soup, if you do that first, you will actually add much more flavor to any soup you make. Also, it's at this time that you might want to put in whatever spices you have, because that will they will emit their oils and flavor as well. Now we're going to add our beans in. With the canning liquid. Now, if you don't can beans, don't worry about that. These are Great Northern beans, but beans, all kinds of beans come in cans. They're easy to find in the grocery store. And a lot of people are not canners. They prefer to buy their beans rather than cook them from dry anyway. And they prefer to use canned beans in their soups rather than go to all the trouble and time to cook the beans from scratch. And that is certainly fine. So basically what we're making here, we're just making ham and bean soup. Those Great Northern beans are really lovely. I was very happy with them. So I'm going to give it a little taste for seasoning. Put a little salt in. Put some more pepper. Beans can take a lot of pepper. Beans are kind of like potatoes. They just absorb spices and seasoning very easily. Okay, it's coming up to a boil here. The good thing about the soup is it looks like I've cooked it for hours. Like Mom used to do on wash day. Now, my soup is a little thick. I would like for it to be a little thinner, so I have some Knorr chicken bouillon here. Now, according to the instructions, it says 3/4 of a teaspoon and 1 cup of water makes a cup of bouillon. So I'm going to add a cup of water, and I already added the powdered bouillon. Not only will it give it flavor, it's going to thin it out a little bit. Beans have a way of they just keep getting thicker. If you were to refrigerate these, they would go back to their original thickened state for sure. You grab a spoon. I'm going to give this a taste. Got trying to get a bean in here. There, I've got some beans, and I've got a little piece of canned ham. So let me give this a taste, and we will see how this is. It's very hot. It's pretty good. It needs more salt and more pepper, I'm going to turn the heat down on this. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. I'm going to turn the heat down on it. And I'm just going to let this simmer on a really low heat for, maybe 40 minutes or so. If I need to add more bouillon and water, I will. And we'll come back and see what we've got. Aren't you excited? I am. Okay, our soup is done. It looks pretty good. I've dished a little bit of it up, so I'm going to give it a taste. I think this looks really good, actually. Now, if you want to try this, you can feel free to use canned beans from the grocery store. If you probably have some of these ingredients in your pantry. If you don't have the canned ham, try using some bacon, or even if you don't have bacon or meat to put in this, you can put a little bit of liquid smoke in it, and you will get that same nice smoky flavor that you like when you have ham and beans. You can accompany this with anything you want. Can be cornbread, biscuits, a vegetable plate, maybe a sandwich or so. Anything you want, let your imagination be your guide. If you guys are interested, I have a lot of different soup recipes on this channel, and feel free to access those, because none of them are costly, and certainly none of them are difficult. They're very simple, very easy to do. Okay? All right, let me give this soup a try, and we'll see what it is. Now, just before I do that, just so you know, I did add another teaspoon of bouillon and another cup of water to this. And, of course, I did more salt and pepper. What do you like to put in your bean soup? Is there something you like on your bean soup? When I was a kid, and still do, I like to put some chopped raw onion and sometimes a little splash of vinegar in my soup. It's really good. But you can do anything you want to. Put in the comments below and tell me what you like to put in your bean soup. Or maybe you don't want to put anything in there. Maybe you just spoon it over cornbread. Yes, that's really good. This canned ham is very tasty. It's really nice. It's got a nice smoky flavor. It keeps its substance. It's not squishy. The carrots in here are good. The little peppers and onions are really good. Now, what I've done is I have washed out the jars that my canned beans came in, and I'm going to take the soup, like I always do, and I'm going to store it in the jars, put it in the refrigerator, and this will give me several nice lunches this week, I think, don't you? And feel free to use whatever beans you want. These are Great Northern beans, but I have navy beans downstairs, and you can use anything you want. It's your soup, it's your kitchen. Use what you have in the pantry, and you probably won't even have to go to the store for anything, which is the best part. Okay? All right, that's it for me today. I love you guys. You know I do. You guys are the best. As always, you know that little is much when God is in it. Okay? I love you. Have a beautiful day. All the veterans out there, have a great day. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. Thank you for your service. We love you. Okay? All right. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.